Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and today I'm going to review the Sonoff M5 white version. So this is the new M5. We already had an M5 which was black, and you have seen this me quickly showing it in one of my preview videos when I sort of like previewed most of my new arrivals. And I do have a review on the sort of the original M5, which was more like a gray, dark gray anthracite color, and now we have white, so it matches the white NS Panel Pro and some of the other white stuff, and it's still like a manual switch. And if you want to compare it to the NS Panel, the old M5, then I would say it is very, very similar. It has mostly the same features. Obvious difference that this is white, but the other big difference is that it supports Matter now. So now this switch you can use it with the eWeLink application, just like any of the eWeLink products. Or if you just want this switch and you want to use it directly with, HomeKit, Google, Alexa, or other Matter compatible services, and you don't want to use eWeLink or any of the Sonoff stuff, you can do it because this is Matter compatible. Other than these, and well, obviously the color and the Matter compatibility, the only additional thing that I managed to find in the white version, which was not available in the black version, was that you can configure it to auto update, but all the other features are exactly the same. So I think in this review, well, at least the eWeLink part of it, I'm just probably going to fly through so I don't repeat myself. If you want a little bit more detailed version, you can watch the original M5 review video. But still, once I'm done with the eWeLink, part of it, then I will show you how it is like to use it as a Matter device. And well, the only Matter network that I have at home is a Google with a Google Nest Hub. So I'm going to pair it with the Google Nest Hub directly. Okay, so let's do the sort of like the unboxing and looking at the device. I already have it hooked up to the mains. Well, obviously no outputs are linked to it. And I mean, it's an M5 just like the old M5. So we get these buttons, which are tactile buttons. They have a very short amount of travel. So there is, there is a micro switch under it. So it, feels clicky and it has a clicky sound and everything. But it's, not a big movement, and you have to press it like here. If you press it up here, there's nothing really happens. And it's the same design. You have a Sonoff logo, Sonoff logo here. I just recently did something related to Sonos and I start mixing the two together. And on the back, you get the terminals. And obviously it has a QR code because it is, Matter compatible. And this is an M586. So we have three different sizes. I'm going to show you when we look at the web page. So this is the 86. I think this is more the traditional square European size. And you see that the layout is exactly the same as the old M5, the NS Panel Pro, well, not really the NS Panel Pro, but the NS Panel, and pretty much all the new smart switches from Sonoff. So we have connection for neutral in, live in. So this is how you connect the mains to get this working. And because it's a 2-gang version, you have live out 1 and live out 2. So you would connect your lamp or whatever you want to control to these outputs, and obviously neutral. So this is not a single live wire version. You have to have neutral in your switch box in order to operate this. But that's it. And just like before, you can put a screwdriver here and then pry off the front cover. So then this whole front cover comes up, and then you can mount it in your wall socket with plugs or screws, and then you just pop in the front cover, and that's it. On the front, the only thing which I haven't mentioned is we have some lights. So now there is a blue sort of like status light, and if you press, then this one turns red. And there are some customizability on these lights, so we are going to look at it in the application, but that's the sort of the general layout. And in the box, so this is the box where it comes in, and you have, well, I don't think there is much in the box, especially now. I think there is some mounting hardware, some screws, and we also have a manual. So this manual is just going to talk about, you know, the basic stuff, and you can see the connection diagram here. So this is a connection diagram for a 3-gang version. Obviously for a 2-gang or a 1-gang version, you just have, you know, 1 or 2 less lamps to connect to, but then the rest of the connections are the same. And you can see the different versions here. And that's it. Yep. Not much, the usual stuff. So next, let me just quickly go through the website where you can purchase this. And the only reason I'm doing this so we can look at the different variants. So these are the various prices, and you can see that you can have 1, 2, or 3-gang version. You have the US style, and you have you know, type 80 and 86. So 120 is the US style. Yeah, it's better. And then 80 is, I think it's a narrower European style, and 86 is, that's the one that I was showing you, and you can see the various gang versions. Ooh, okay. And oh, let me just quickly show you the prices. So 1-gang, 2-gang, 3-gang for the US version, and for this one, well, it's pretty much the same price. Slight differences here and there. No, actually, I think it's the same. And of course, you can order with some additional stuff. And I think there is, well, I think by the time this video is released, probably is going to be in April. So you won't be able to use this offer, but I think I already mentioned this in the previous video. So if you are quick enough, I think you would be able to use that. And again, you can see the different size versions here, and it is Matter compatible and the usual stuff. I'm just going to show you in the app anyway. So I just wanted to show you just how, you know, good this visually matches with some white sockets. And also there is a picture for NS panel, because you can get a white NS panel as well. Yeah, I think that looks really smart. 1 and 2 and 3-gang version next to a white NS panel. Not the NS panel Pro, but the regular NS panel. Oh, again, and you can look at the different sizes and you know, switch layout. So this is the US 120 type. This is 86, the one that I have, and that's the narrower 80. And yeah, you can see the installation, but I already mentioned that. And just like previously for the previous black M5, you can get these brackets. So if you want to install multiple of these units next to each other, you can buy these brackets. So it nicely frames all these different switches into sort of like a single unit. Yeah, you can see white frame. Well, originally we had the dim gray, but we have white, and you can get, well, I think it's not gangs, but you know, 2 unit, 3 unit, or 4 unit versions. So you can see here that they have like an end, not really cap, but like these edges which sort of close the left and right side of your switch group. Okay, let's just come back to the application and also the view. And well, for this demonstration, I'm not going to create any, well, I'm not going to connect any lights, but I guess you can just imagine that there are some lights here which turn on and off when we operate this device. So I've already done the pairing. There was nothing really special about the pairing. If you start the pairing and add the device, it will get recognized automatically because it uses Bluetooth, but you can also use here the scan feature, and then you can scan this QR code, and it works exactly well, it works, you know, just like that as well. Actually, this new scan functionality takes you through a couple of steps of how you know, add it. You press this button, make sure that the LED is blinking, and so if you are unsure about that, maybe use the scan functionality. And the new M5 White, I just renamed it M5 White, is appearing here. And as I said, it works just like any other 2-gang switch. So you have the 2 gangs. Well, this particular version has 2 gangs. You can operate it here, and then you can operate it obviously from here as well. And you can rename, oh, sorry, you will be able to rename the channels. And on the main functions on the bottom of the screen, you can create multiple schedules to turn the device on and off. and you can see that for each schedule you can specify what each of the channels should do. Or if you have the switch on, then you can create a timer. So maybe like half an hour I want the outputs to be turned off. Or you can create this loop timer as well, which, yeah, it's available for all these sort of like these switches. So this is the alternate on-off cycles you can configure here. And you have a button to turn all the outputs on or all the outputs off. Very simple control, but that really, you know, gets all the job done. And that's what you would, you know, mostly control when you, or mostly use when you manually want to control this unit. Let's just go into the settings. So 3 dots here. I can change the name of the device and I can rename each of the channels separately. At the moment it is, the version is 1.00, and you can access the user manual here. Yeah, so yeah, if you're not sure about either the installation or how they add the device, well, I mean, if you get this far, you have already added the device, but yeah, that's the other thing. Anyway, so that's the you have the manual here. This functionality I haven't really used, but now, you know, you have a tile for the M5, and then you have to, and then you have to go in order to see the 2 outputs. And here you can just show them as separate tiles. So if they are controlling something completely different, or maybe lights in different rooms, you can split the gangs into different tiles. And this is the automatic update that I was talking about. I'm not really sure why it is only offered for this particular device, because it should be available for everything, but you know, maybe in time this will get you know, rolled out to every single device. Next, you can change the room, you know, which room the device is in. You can share it with various users with all these different settings. You can create a group. So you can see the M5 that's the black M5. So you can link it together, and all the inputs, all the gangs will, you know, work together. So if you turn on this one, it will turn on the other one as well, and also off. This uses Bluetooth, so you would be able to link other Bluetooth compatible devices. Like I've already done this with the M5, which you can link the R5, which looks exactly the same as this one, but it is battery operated. I don't think that the white version is available from that, but there are a couple of other devices that you can, you know, add here. You can do push notifications, so you will get notifications when the device status changes, or offline alerts. The logs will show you when this device got changed. And you have, okay, next 2 options is related to these indicator lights. So as you can see here, let me just put my phone down. So now the network indicator is enabled, which means that this one is blue, and if I turn it on, it becomes purple. But the other one is not blue, and if I turn it on, it becomes red. So basically what happens is the network indicator is making this one blue or purple, but the other ones is not. So if I turn off the network indicator, what happens is now both of them are red, and if I turn off, then both of them turns off. So you don't get the blue light, which, to be honest, I don't like the fact that, you know, when the gangs are on, it comes in 2 different colors. I think it would have been made more sense if this is blue as the network indicator, and when you turn it on, then the blue turns off and it just becomes red. So then, you know, if both of them are on, then both of them are red. I'm not sure why they have done it this way. For me, it makes more sense. I mean, visually, it's I mean, for me, it's visually better if I turn off the network indicator. And you can also control the backlight. So here, what you can see now is the, so this backlight, well, actually there is a faint red on these buttons at the moment, and you can control the brightness of this red. I turned off the backlight so maybe we can better see this one. So now you can see that both of the gangs are off, because if I turn them on, the red becomes brighter. But if I turn off, then there is a faint red, and you can control the brightness of that from here. But if you take the brightness all the way up, then the off state and the on state, the difference between the two becomes, you know, much less. You know, I mean, it's already a very small LED light, so I'm not really sure if it makes a big difference. If you have it in like a bedroom, you want as minimum background light as possible, so you can play around with this button backlight. And you can control the power on state, so you can configure whether each of these should be on and off. When the power comes back on, you can also put a delay, and yeah, so basically all the bells and whistles for this. And you can do the same for the inching setting. So if you turn this one on, it will automatically turn off after a set amount of time, or vice versa, because it has this auto off and the auto on as well. And you can do it for both of the outputs. And you can hide the on-off buttons here. So you can see that we don't have the big all-on or all-off buttons on the main screen. And what else? Wi-Fi settings, you can change the Wi-Fi settings, and that's pretty much it. And by the way, if I go back to my M5, which is this one, so this is the black M5, as you can see, the screen looks exactly the same, and the settings are exactly the same. The only difference is that here we don't have the auto update option, and also the firmware version for the old M5 is 1.2.3, for the new one is 1.0.0. But you can see that the rest of the settings, I mean, this one has the R5 link to it, but you can see that the rest of the settings are exactly the same. So, as I said, it feels like just another M5, but in white. Well, up until now, because everything was on about the, you know, the eWeLink application. But now, what I would do is, I think if I want to use it in Google, I have to delete this device. So it's I can't have it in eWeLink or on a Meta network at the same time. So it is deleted, and you can see that this LED is blinking. So what I'm going to do now, I'm quickly jumping over to my Google application and device, add device, Meta enable device. And let's see if it gets, oh yeah, I have to read the QR code. That's it. I agree. Oh, that was quick. That's the picture of the M5. Well, not this version, but that's how the US version would look like. Okay, it's getting the credentials. And, well, it's a bit quicker than I expected. Okay, I think about like 15 seconds has passed, which I edited out, but the device is connected, and we just have to wait a little longer. I'm not really sure which room this guy will be added to. Probably not. It will just appear under the entire house. I think this is what Google calls it. And I have a notification that a new device is added. Okay, so the new device is added. Now we just have to find it. So in your home, it's here. Yep. It's called, actually, the new name of the M5 is called the Switchman. I'm not oh yeah, I think it is mentioned here. Yeah, Switchman. 2 outputs. Well, Google doesn't really do anything with these outputs. If I long press, you have the on-off. In the settings, you have, yeah, Sonoff Switchman wall switch. Type is outlet, and I mean, you can change it so it appears as a different icon, but that's it. And there is nothing really else that you can do here. And by the way, if you look at the LEDs, so the LEDs are now working as the default setting. So if I turn it off, then it shows the blue status LED. Yeah, now it's blue. So obviously you are losing a lot of functionality if you are using it as a Meta device, because all the extra features that we just looked at for like 5 minutes are only in the eWeLink application. And for me, it looks like that when you remove the device from the eWeLink, sort of these settings reset back to the default, because I turned off the indicator light, well, the blue network indicator light, and it's back on now. Yeah, both of the outputs are on. If I turn this off, then, oh, it's the other way around. Okay. But yeah, I guess you get the idea. The update seems to be a little bit slower than previously, but the response is, I mean, I think you can hear the clicking, the relay clicking. It takes probably like half a second or something like that. I don't remember it was if it was any faster or slower for some of my other Meta devices, but it works. Setting it up was easy, and linking it to, let's say, Apple HomePod or on Amazon Alexa would be just as easy as I did for Google, or maybe even a little bit easier as well. Well, actually, I think that should be pretty much all to cover the switch. If you want to use it just in the eWeLink application, just like any Sonoff device, then it feels like and behaves like just the the previous M5, the black M5. But obviously now you are not restricted to only using it in the eWeLink application. You can use it with any Matter compatible device, just as I did with Google Home. If you are interested in this device, I'm going to leave some links in the video description. But I think that should be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.